Leo, you came over to us with a smile on your face that probably summarises how good this night has been for yourself, but could you put it into words about the goal and also the performance?
Yeah, it's perfect. We wanted to give something back to the fans today, and I think we did it. We played so well, we created a lot and didn't give away a lot, so yeah, it's a perfect night for us.
When you think about the atmosphere in here and you think about obviously your move to the club, are nights like this exactly what you meant when you turned around and said that you wanted to join Arsenal Football Club?
Yeah, of course. That's why you play football for nights like this. The crowd has been incredible. And like I said, we wanted to give something back to them, and it's a great win for us.
It seemed like the whole night started, especially for the Arsenal fans, when you scored your first goal. Just tell us about the movement and the tempo in terms of what led to that goal. Yeah,
when I saw Georgie on the ball, I just knew he would put it in behind for B, and I had to be there in front of goal, and B put it on a plate for me, and I had to score it. So it's a great team goal, and it set us off for the rest of the game.
Going into this, everyone was talking about the versatility of one of your teammates, Tomiyasu, but maybe we should talk about the versatility yourself. Whether it's on the wing or in the false nine position, you seem to be thriving. What is it about your game where you can just excel in any position?
I think my biggest quality is that I can go on both feet, so it's easier for me if I play inside or on the wing. Doesn't really matter for me. So I've always played in multiple positions during my career, so it helps me a lot.
I think we always want to know from your perspective, when the fans are screaming your name, when you were coming off, there was a louder of applause in here for you, screaming Leo, Leo, Leo. How does that make you feel? What does that quantify? How does that make you feel in terms of your relationship with the club?
Yeah, it's amazing. Like I said, that's where you do it for. You want to give something back, and then it's nice if they appreciate it, and if they shout your name.
I've had the stats man in my airtime man and say to me, it's 1 point you need now from the close out. Is that the objective now? How do you make sure that happens?
No, we want to win both games, and that's how we will approach it. So we next I think is home game against Lens, and we want to win that as well.
Well, Liam, more than anything else, congratulations, my friend, and top man for the goal. Top man, bro.
Sorry.
Arteta, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Thinking about earlier on in the match, Bukayo Saka took quite a lot of hits, quite a lot of fouls. Is that something you're worried about going forward? He also came off a bit early. Is the amount of fouls that he's taken, do you need referees to protect him a little bit more? Is that something you're worried about?
Well, there's contact in football, and obviously for the wingers that want to take people on, this is going to happen. At the end, he wasn't comfortable to carry on. Hopefully it's not too much, but I'm really pleased with his performance.
Okay, fantastic.
Was that the perfect response, given all the controversy and all the off-field stuff after the previous game? And is that as close as what you'd like to see perfection-wise?
I think it was more of the really good things that we did in Newcastle. We didn't need that response because the team performed extraordinarily well against a team that they are really difficult to play against. And today it was other requirements. Tactically, we needed something else. We played at home, we needed a different game, and we implemented what we wanted really, really well. So I'm really happy with the last two performances.
And Kai Havertz today was...
Again, for me, against West Ham in the first half, for me was the best player. Newcastle, one of the best, and today, again, he was really strong. Really happy with him.
Amy from Athletic.
Hello, Mikel. Just the two wingers going full pace. That seems to be such a strength of Arsenal's. When it works, it's dynamite. When it doesn't, sometimes the teams can't find those breakthroughs. How much do you need both Saka and Martinelli at like 100%?
If the attacking players obviously had a massive influence in what we are able to generate in the final third, but a lot of time the process has to be better at the back as well, to give them time and give them advantages and have the space and the support that they need to generate those things. And today they've done it really well, and obviously when that's the case, it is difficult to defend against them.
They've had to play with a lot of different centre forwards across the season so far. Do you still feel you're looking for that perfect balance of the attack?
I don't know where that perfect balance is what we have. Obviously, you look at Gabi Jesus, I think he's only played one Premier League game for us, and he played 3 games in the Champions League and scored 4 goals. It's what it is, but having Leo here that is so reliable and gives you something very different to Eddie and him is a joy to have, and really happy with them.
James from ESPN.
Hi, Mikel. Just on Bukayo, I think you got fouled 4 times in the first 17 minutes. You know, some players might shy away when they're getting that kind of treatment, but he always seems to embrace it and keep going. Is he born with that? Is that just something he has within him?
Born?
Yeah.
I think he's getting used to it. I don't think that's going to change, especially the way he plays and the way he attracts players. So he better get used to it, because I don't think that's going to change.
Kai from Football London.
Hi, Mikel. You took Takehiro Tomiyasu off at half time to check. Was that fitness related? Did he have an injury? Or?
Yeah, he had some discomfort in the first half, and we didn't want to take any risks. He's played a lot of minutes as well, and obviously having Alex on the bench ready to come in, I think it was the right decision.
It was a game where you had lots of control. Jorginho was central to that, pivotal in the first goal as well. When he signed, there were quite a few people doubting him, but what can you say about sort of his influence over the past few months since he's joined, and how important he was tonight as well?
That is a joy to have him. His influence in the rest of the squad, the rest of the boys, is enormous. He fits in the way we want to play. He's so intelligent. He understands everything so quickly, and he makes everybody else better. I'm really happy with his performance tonight.
Okay, and finally, I believe we'll go to Dave from The Guardian.
So just going back to Saka's injury, can you just explain the detail that you have, and are you worried, or how's he feeling?
It was just a kick, and I was told by the physios from the radio that he wasn't happy to continue. So he had some discomfort, but hopefully I want to assume that he will be okay.
And so finally, we'll go to Darmesh from Sky.
Hi, Mikel. Just on Martin Odegaard and Eddie Nketiah, they weren't in the squad again today. Can you give us the latest on their injuries?
Yeah, they're racing against the clock to be fit, and they are trying their best, and they try to be here today with us. It was impossible, and we have another 48 hours before we played Burnley. We will try again and see, because we need players at the moment.
Goal himself as well. Good performance all round from this side, considering the injuries and everything that they had to contend with. Arsenal were in the driving seat from the off in this game. They might have had a little bit of switch off. Perhaps they took the foot off the gas in the second half, but they got the goal in the end. It was a lovely goal from Saka. Overall, how do you think it went, Martin, for you?
I think it was a very good night. I think Arsenal now looking like they belong in the Champions League again once more. Totally dominant tonight. Their opponent not having a shot on goal until the 96 minutes. Says it all, really. And again, the leading lights are the youngsters, Martinelli, Saka. Saka's goal was a wonderful finish for him, the defender. We've not seen some very good defending here tonight. We talked a lot about defending, and been surprised actually at Sevilla how poor they were. But nonetheless, Arsenal totally dominant. They're growing with experience. Declan Rice, they're all playing in the Champions League for the first time now.
Have a look at this. This is Saka for the 2-0. Lovely bit of skill. No, doing what Saka, because in the last couple of weeks we've said he's been a little bit quiet, Rio.
Yeah, he has, but listen, he's been in ridiculous form for a long period of time now for such a young player. This defender should never be allowing him back on his left foot. If he's watched any videos of Saka, he'll be saying, right, I'm going to show you down the line, you can't come back inside. But the trickery, he fools him.
There's no real disguise.
No, but it's a nice turn, he's sharp, and it's a fantastic finish.
Oh yeah, but he always wants that left foot.
Yeah.
Keep him going that way, young defenders, but great for Saka. He does that so often, comes onto his left foot and then just tucks it away nicely.
It's a little bit like, I'm not saying anything like he's anywhere near Robin yet, but I'm saying there's certain players that they always want to get onto a certain side, which is his left side, and you can't stop them. You know it's coming, but they're so good at disguising and trickery that they managed to get onto that left foot, and he done that again today.
Now Arsenal's top scorer with 6 goals so far this season. Disappointing scenes if you're Mikel Arteta and Arsenal fans as well. He did land awkwardly. Have a little look at this. This eventually forced him off.
Innocuous.
I don't think he rolls it though, does he? I think maybe just sort of maybe blocks.
He jars
sometimes
it,
you can jar it, and you get that congestion at the back of your ankle. I'm hoping he's going to be okay. He's quite a tough boy, you have to say.
Yeah.
But he does get a lot of injuries. We might have. I was wondering actually why he wasn't going off earlier. Do you know, because you want to wrap him in cotton wool. But I'm certain he'll be okay.
Well, the good news is when he came off, he didn't go to the medical room. He went to the bench and he carried on watching the game. And at full time, he was still walking around. So fingers crossed, it means it's not that serious. He was heavily involved today. He also got himself an assist for the first goal. Let's have a look at Leandro Trossard's goal. This made it 1-0 in the end. And we talk about that ball from Jorginho. It was lovely, wasn't it, Rio?
Yeah, a fantastic ball. I think everything about this goal was great. Declan Rice picks up the loose ball there, goes into Jorginho, his midfield partner. He finally gets it back. But watch Saka's movement here. You're going to get it better on the next clip, but it's a great ball, a wonderful ball. The vision and the execution, the ability to play that ball, let alone see it. But this bit here, I think you've got to keep your eyes on Saka, haven't you, Martin?
Well, what's really clever about it is he's just going to move out wide and just find his position. He just moves into an area. And look, this is the vision now, just looking. He's just surveying there, Jorginho. And then the change of direction, look, woof, puts the weight on his back foot, pushes up into the space. And then there's the delivery. and it's just a tap in. Trossard, though, has watched all of that happen and read it really well to be in the right place.
They have a lovely relationship, Trossard and Saka. We looked into this. Trossard's 5 goals that he scored this season have all been assisted from Saka. And if you go back to last season, he scored 1 goal there, also assisted for Saka. So 2 of them obviously work very well.
Well, they're almost telepathic, aren't they?
Yeah, I'd be wanting every single one of my dinners and desserts delivered by Trossard. If I was Saka, I'm telling you, I'll be saying, no, come on, I'm setting you up on the pitch, I want setting up off it.
Always comes down to food with you, really.
Yeah, that's a big problem of mine.
Listen over on the score sheet, but his influence in this game was huge, and the right back's probably going to have nightmares about this for the rest of his life.
Yeah, the 2 fullbacks were put under immense pressure today, and this will be a learning curve for this young fullback. Does he learn from this? Well, what he said at half-time, can he recover? Well, he didn't. He got destroyed all game. Every time Martinelli had the ball, he looked like he was sitting there in just a submission and saying, listen, I know you're going to beat me. I'm just going to try and keep up with you and just try and make myself not look as bad each and every time you get the ball. This is like, woof. You have to acknowledge the skill there as well.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is he's got to give himself half a yard. And what's really intelligent from Martinelli is knocking it out with his right foot and then running onto it with his left. So he's out of the stride pattern of the fullback, and the fullback just didn't know what was going on. There it is again, time after time after time. It was a little bit embarrassing, but as a centre half, I think I might have gone alongside him and said, "Oh, come on, let's drop off a little bit."
Yeah, you need that experience alongside you. But Martinelli, listen, you want to see these performances. You want end products, you want goals, you want assists as well. Everything else in his game today was perfect.
Yeah. OK, guys, don't go anywhere. We're going to be hearing from the manager, Mikel Arteta. 1 point is all they need to secure from the final 2 games. And someone who played a massive part in that game today, Declan Rice, is joining us now. Declan, thank you so much. Great to see you.
How are you?
Very well, thank you. How was it?
Yeah, it was good. Obviously, a tough game. We knew what Sevilla were like. Obviously, played there 10 days ago, so we knew what to expect. But we knew tonight was a big night, our second Champions League game, and we knew we had to get 3 points on the board, so that was key. How
important did it feel, not just to get the 3 points for Champions League, but also just to get back to winning ways, because it's been quite a tumultuous week for you guys?
Yeah, we said that. I think after the upset in the Cup, and then obviously on the weekend, a club like Arsenal, we can't be losing 3 games in a row, and the manager made that clear before the game. He said we need to get back to winning ways and put in a high energetic performance, and sometimes when you're playing against the back 5 it's hard to break down, but in the end we kept persisting and you come through.
Declan, how pleased are you with your own form? I know you're someone who's very critical. You watch your games back, really looking at little details in your game. How pleased have you been with your consistency in your form so far since you come here? Because no one's even talking about the £100 million price tag.
Do you know what, Rhea? I've just been taking it game by game. I know it might sound, I'm not trying to sound boring, I literally have. Just every time I put on the shirt and try to come and play, if I start well, I know I'm going to go on to have a good game, and that's the confidence I've got at the minute, whether I'm playing as a 6, whether I'm playing as an 8, I want to do the best I can for the team, and, there's so much more I can still add, but it's been a good start, and yeah, it's going to be a long season ahead as well, so I'm looking forward to it still.
That's a question I'm going to ask you, Declan. We've not met, so I'm really pleased to see you at our football club, because you've done a fantastic job in that midfield. You look like a 6 all day long for me, but you surprised me with playing as an 8, how well you play, your pace that you're showing, how creative you are. We know about the tackles, the interceptions. What position are you most comfortable in playing in that midfield?
To be honest, I think my best position is probably 6. That's where I probably feel most comfortable. As an 8, I do get a bit excited, like to dribble with the ball. Obviously, when I'm playing there, it's my job to try and create, but that's not my biggest strength. My biggest strength's like what you said, breaking up the play, taking the ball from deep, trying to dictate. But every time Mikel says you're playing 8, I do get excited, because I get to run into the box, I get to run with the ball. I get to show that other side of my game, which is really good. But yeah, at the moment, obviously, we're so short with injuries.
You certainly got the energy.
Yeah, I didn't stop running tonight. I didn't stop running.
Speaking of energy, they say you never lose it. Martin Keown was probably the best example of that tonight. This was him just a few minutes before full time. Ball comes out of play, Martin.
I'm not happy with
what can he do?
I mean, I know Declan's critical of his performances at times, but
listen, when do you ever play with the backhand?
I'm looking a bit ragged, to be fair. Too much polish on my shoes. It's just gone off.
I'm surprised you lot didn't hear it on the pitch. Probably got the biggest cheer of the night, really, didn't you? Sorry, Martin.
You needed the red Pumas, didn't you?
I did. I couldn't play without them, to be fair.
That wasn't my idea, by the way. Listen, Champions League, it's what you always wanted. Ria and I were just speaking about that. It's amazing that you're here now and 1 point away from the knockout stages. Can you get excited about it? Are you staying very level-headed?
Yeah, I think we can. You know, our next game here is at home, and then obviously PSV away. So there's a lot to look forward to. Obviously, our aim was always to get into the knockout stages. We're close to that now, and obviously once you get into that, that's when it all begins again. You know, that's how you push on and stay focused.
How important has it been with the manager? I mean, you as a player, I played for a manager who showed a lot of passion in interviews after games. Your manager was like that after the game the other day. Was criticised. I don't think he should have been. I love seeing that. Yeah. What about for you players when you're sitting in your change room or on the bus, seeing that? What does that do to you guys?
Yeah, we love it. I think you see how passionate he is. I think he sometimes gets criticised for how he is on the sidelines, but you know, he's living the game through us. You know, he's so energetic, and the way he speaks, he's like a teacher. You know, the way he is in the change room with us, and you know, that really fires us up for the game. And I think that's what he's really, really good at, Mikel.
Good.
Right, we're going to let you go and enjoy that win.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Go and get a bath and a big game at the weekend.
No, we'll be back. Pleasure to meet you. Yeah?
Thank you so much. Well done. Thank you very much, Declan Rice. He mentioned the manager, Mikel Arteta. Let's see how he thought that performance when he's speaking with JD Dyer.
Mikel, I think the first thing I'm going to ask you is, are you pleased? It seemed like it was a very convincing performance. We spoke a couple of days beforehand and you wanted that intensity. Did you feel like you achieved that tonight?
For sure. I'm really happy with the performance of the team, the maturity that they showed, the commitment, the aggression to go at them, and straight away in the game we wanted to dominate it and play in the final third. The moment we lost the ball, we were incredibly good at winning it back so early. So really difficult in Europe to control the game that we've done, to score the goals that we scored, and we're in a good position.
The team in commentary made a number of references to the amount of control you had over the game, what you just made a reference to. It looked like a really cultured European performance. Did you really feel that when you was out there?
That's what we wanted, because I think that when you let them run, they are really dangerous. When you let them get set in your own half and they start to put crosses in the box, they are a really dangerous team. And I think we allowed one shot in the 94th, 95th minute. So really good. That's what you need in Europe.
Now let's talk about the injuries, just in case. Tomiyasu, was that a tactical or was that an injury in terms of his withdrawal at half-time? And also, could you make reference to Bukayo, who obviously made his lap of honour, but he did come up a couple of times in terms of an injury?
Yeah, Tommy was feeling something, so we didn't want to take any risk, so we brought Alex back. With Bukayo was a knock, and with the other ones, hopefully they are good, because at the moment we are missing some players.
I think finally I'll just ask you, we spoke about a response that you wanted to see from your team. The couple of defeats are in the past, but in terms of what you saw tonight, in terms of the intensity, was that the response that you wanted?
Yeah, but I didn't need a response in terms of performance, because the way the boys played in Newcastle, I was really happy with. It was about winning. You know, we lost the game and now we wanted to win, because winning helps, and it's the best way to prepare again the tough game that we're going to face against Burnley for sure. So really happy.
More than anything else, congratulations, Mikel. I'll see you soon.
Okay, so for Arsenal, just what the doctor ordered. He wants a win, he got a win. How important is that? Do you understand what he's saying? Sometimes it's not necessarily he didn't want an improved performance because he felt like they did that, but they didn't get what they needed or didn't get what they deserved. But here, they got the win, and it's getting them back on track.
Well, he shuts out all the noise, because if you lose 3 games as an Arsenal manager right now, it grows. And there's been a feeling probably that the football world's been against them a little bit this week. People might say that, you know, they brought that upon themselves, the football club, but I thought 100% they should be unified.
Back their manager.
And back their manager, as they've definitely done. He's an outstanding manager. Arsenal were totally dominant tonight, and they're looking like they belong in Europe once more, and I think it's a lot down to the manager.
Good news as well, he said in that interview, Saka was just a knock, so not too worried, and you need Saka, especially when you're missing some of those key players. You need a fit Saka, and a Saka that's playing like that. Yeah,
the 2 wide players today demonstrated why they're so important to this team. The system, the way it is, they pen the back 4 back completely of the opposition, and they're devastating in behind. So they're a great combination to have, and even without a recognised number 9 today, they still look to threat. But you need your best players out there, your most penetrative players, your most decisive players, and Saka falls into that category.
Before we go, I just want a quick reaction from you, Rio, because we were watching the score as it was going on. Manchester United, who went 2-0 up in that game at Copenhagen, eventually losing out 4-3. This lot here at the Emirates were giving you dogs abuse, weren't they? Yeah, hammered. I was getting hammered. I thought I was going to get away with it, actually. But yeah, terrible result, terrible. I said at the weekend, before the game against Fulham, it was in crisis mode. They managed to get a victory there, but then Galway to be 2-0 up. Then Marcus gets sent off. Not that that's his fault for the result at all. But
you still with the manager here? You're going to stick with him?
Yeah, I think you have to. I think you have to stick with the manager. I think it's a poor result. It's a really bad result. But this team needs to pick themselves up now. They need to show some spirit and some character. That's a really bad result, and qualifying now is going to be a big struggle.
Yeah.
Welcome back to our coverage of the Champions League. Let's round up some of the action from the other groups tonight. Arsenal played Sevilla in London, got the job done at home, 2-0 the final score. Not quite qualified, but it was a solid performance. Thierry?
It was. I was a bit disappointed with Sevilla, but we all know it's not easy at the moment to go and play at the Emirates, and I thought that Arsenal were just magnificent, especially Bukayo Saka. As we saw, he was involved in the 2 goals with an assist and a goal. So it's just old school, shall we say, with Bukayo Saka, although he's a young guy. But what a pass from Jorginho, and you will see on the replay the run of Bukayo Saka, and obviously the tap-in once again tonight, like I mentioned before, for Leandro Trossard. But I like the running behind, Jamie, like we talked about. Sometimes you need to surprise the fullback like that, not always ask for the ball in your feet. And he did, and he just, I'm not too sure about the timing of the celebration, but it was great. And again, what a finish there. But guys, would you have kept him on his right foot?
Would you try it?
Yeah, you would have tried. But I'm saying there, it's a great finish from Bukayo. But here, why are you overcommitting?
He overcovers. You know what he wants to do. He can't hurt you if he's on his right foot there. He wants to come on his left foot.
Great finish from
It was a great finish.
I think what we're going to see here now is Bukayo Saka's injury.
This is what you don't want to see. I mean, he's their best player by far. He's picked up a few niggles this season as well.
Yeah, Mikel Arteta described this one as a knock. That was why he was taken off.
Oh, well, let's hope and pray it's a knock, because he's got so much to offer, this young lad. He's been excellent this season. 6 goals, 7 assists. They need him.
OK, so let's throw up the table. We're already throwing up the table. OK, so Arsenal not yet mathematically through, but sitting in a good position, at least 4 points ahead of PSV. And then PSV, Lens and Sevilla still theoretically battling it out for that second spot to go through to the Champions League knockout stages. Let's move on to another group, which is a Group D.
Martin and Rio are just next to me, and I don't know if you can see that Rio looks really quite incredibly annoyed, and that's because he's got one eye on Manchester United's performance as well, who were 2-0 up. Rashford got sent off and they just conceded. Now he feels that they might concede again. Anyway, meanwhile, more importantly here at the Emirates, Arsenal really dominating this game from start to finish, and that Trossard goal, bearing in mind that he's come in because they're missing players up front, Eddie Nketiah, Gabriel Jesus as well. This was a lovely ball from Jorginho, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the vision that he has here, of course, Declan wins the ball first of all, lovely ball, way to pass into the path of Saka. Saka and Martinelli have been absolutely different class in this first half. But look at this, Declan's got to win the ball, that's why he's in there. And then he passes it to this man who really can play, can't he?
Yeah, there's a lot of players here, like you see it, you see this pass and you see the lane open up, but there's very few that can actually execute. This is why he's here, he's passing range here. The timing of the run, the pass execution, the weight of the pass, and then Saka with a beautiful ball on the plate for Trossard, who I think Trossard's a really good player. And today I think he's been very bright, and it's a fantastic team goal, that.
Yeah. Trossard's been clever because he keeps offering himself from side to side, get those passes moving, and then he's there at the vital time to knock that one home.
Another player looks like he's really enjoying himself in that first half is Gabriel Martinelli, who's absolutely been shining, hasn't he?
Well,
the right back's had a nightmare against him.
He's had Juan Lu on toast. He's roasted him. Every time he's had the ball, he said, listen, what have you got? And you ain't got enough for me. He worked out in the first couple of minutes of the game, beat him once here. And from that moment on, he just said, listen, I'm going to hurt you. And I don't think he would have had a harder 45 minutes of football in his career. Young fullback. He's been linked with Real Madrid, funnily enough, and this will be a good learning curve for him. Can he recover in the second half? Because Martinelli, all he's done is he's lacked that killer final ball.
This is the worst one, isn't it, from a defender's point of view?
Berbatov at Old Trafford.
That's almost embarrassing. But Martinelli keeps knocking it out with his right foot. I mean, look, we'll just take another look at this. Lovely, it lifts it over the defender. That is embarrassing for him. Must have a good agent to be linked with Real Madrid because he's getting run ragged. But Martinelli and Saka, they're the shining lights and have been at Arsenal for 2 or 3 seasons now, and tonight they're tearing them apart.
Yeah. He's been dribbled past 5 times in the game so far. So in the second half, he's got to do something to try and mitigate the Gabriel danger, I suppose. But you're right, Saka as well having a brilliant game. More to come in the second half. Just a reminder as well, the other games that are going on, Manchester United, who were 2-1 up, just conceded a penalty against Copenhagen. That means it's 2-2 at the moment in that game. Rashford getting sent off. They were 2-0 up at the first place, and then Rashford obviously getting himself off has kind of changed it a little bit. We'll update the rest of the scores for you after this very, very quick break.
Stadium. My name is Derek Ray, and joining me in the commentary position is the former Arsenal and England fullback Lee Dixon. And getting ready for what should be potentially thrilling action here. It's Arsenal taking on Sevilla.
Hi Derek, thank you. Well, both managers will be reminding their players how important it is to start off the game really quickly. Really attack the opposition, put them on the back foot, see what comes of that. Hopefully we get a good game.
And so the starting 11 for Arsenal. Bernd Leno gets the nod in goal. Granit Xhaka plays with Thomas Partey in central midfield. And the main forward here is Alex Lacazette. Leno would have been disappointed had he not held on. A bit of running room now on the wing. And with the goalkeeper. The defenders will certainly have done their homework, Lee, and on that basis must keep more than a weather eye on Lacazette.
Well, basically, you've got to keep him out the box because he's got such a brilliant finishing ability that you give him half a yard, he will score. So keep him as far away from your goal as possible.
And possession given away. And intercepting it. Throw-ins given. Suso. Well, they couldn't quite muster a real threat. Good technique displayed. Well, when all was said and done, he's failed to hit the target. Granit Xhaka. Tierney. Martin Ødegaard. Perfectly positioned to take it away. Well, they're on the scent of something positive. Can he put them in front? Oh no, he's missed the opportunity.